Hello. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. My name is Ashley Latney, and I want to say thank you so much for joining us today, joining this launcher class with Aligning Your Profit and Purpose Financial Self Care for Entrepreneurs. Today, we are just going to go ahead and jump in and get started so that we can start the discussion on how to start the process of self care when it comes to your money and being a business owner slash entrepreneur. Something that what I am is I am a money mindset coach. So I go out to different community centers, schools, locations, and I teach people how to heal their financial mindset, how to heal those financial traumas that we know sometimes are passed down from generation to generation. And what we're going to do here today is we're going to start the process of discussing and healing your business budgeting relationship, which is one of the most important relationships that you will have when it comes to being an entrepreneur slash business owner. Um, if we don't have a good relationship with our personal money, with the money that comes into our accounts and our personal money, usually that then falls over into our business and how we handle our business funds. Now, I'm not saying this is true for everyone, but what I'm saying is this is usually how it is and what it really looks like is your personal looks one way, your business usually kind of is the same. And that's something that we're trying to break. We're trying to heal and we're trying to uncover and we're trying to, overcome those types of obstacles. We're trying to eliminate those things because we want to have successful businesses. Something that people have to understand is in order for our economy to thrive, we need businesses. We need business owners. We need people who are providing services that people want so that our economy thrives and goes on. So, as a business owner, you are one of the most important people in our whole economic system. And if we don't have healthy relationships with how we manage our money, then that 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 breaks. We break that economic thrive. We break that economic success because we need those funds to be able to keep going. So today is going to be all about that. We're going to be talking about healing your business budgeting relationship. I'm not going to go all down rabbit hole. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in and get started. So, the agenda again, we're going to be understanding your current financial relationship. So, this is important because if you don't know where you are right now, you don't know where you're trying to go. We have to learn how to take baby steps. We have to learn how to take a big goal and now let's just break it down. And one of those is our big goal is how do you think about money? What is your current thought process about money? And now let's break this down on how do you want to feel about money? How do you want to feel about the finances and about your budgeting? When you look at your budget first, do you have a budget when it comes to your business? That's step number one. But like what is going on? Then we're going to be talking about building a healthy budgeting relationship mindset, practical budgeting strategies, and then successful budgeting in business. We have to know what's coming in and out of our business, just like we have to know what's coming in and out in our personal accounts. So this is important, and we're going to go ahead and dig in. So why is this important for business success? Okay. So this is important for business success with having and understanding and building a healthy budgeting mindset because it helps you with your financial health. Having a healthy budgeting relationship is critical when maintaining financial health and stability. If you don't have a healthy relationship with your finances, then usually a lot of stuff in your life is in turmoil. Have you ever had $500? You just, let's say you had an extra $500 in your account. You was like, oh, I'm gonna go on ball. I'm gonna get my stuff. I'm gonna have a self-care day. And then after you just spent all the money, you get tired, blow, and it's like, oh, it's $500 and you needed it. So you didn't blew it on stuff that you didn't need, but now that you need it, you don't have it. This is a unhealthy balance when it comes to your financial health because we have to learn how to, yes, we can have the things that we want, we can have the things that we need, which is very important. I never tell anyone don't do the things that bring you joy, because especially when it comes to your budget and when you are healing your mindset for your budget, I never say just cut out everything, because now that's not fun and now you feel like you're being punished even though you're doing a lot of work. So I never tell anybody don't get rid of all of the things that you like to do, but you have to learn how to scale. You have to learn how to, be able to say no. You have to be able to say, you know what, right now I need to get supplies for my business. I'm not going to go and eat out. A lot of us, we spend a lot of money on food that we don't need. And that's a whole nother story, but we have to be willing to have a trade off for the things that we need, we want when it comes to our business. It reduces stress. So when you have a healthy relationship with your budgeting, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you're stressed. Like you eliminate so much stress, because like the example that I gave with the $500, if you didn't spend all the $500, let's just say, okay, you spent 100 of that dollars. That means that you, at least now, you don't have to come up with the whole 500. So you're not stressed like, oh my gosh, I have to come up with $500 now. I didn't spend it. No, it's like, oh, okay, I have 400. I just need to come up with $100. You can borrow that. You can ask 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. You ever been on the street and somebody who lives on the street be like, hey, can I get a 20? A 20? What happened to ones? Like, this is real life. You ever been in New York? They ask you up front. They are very, I need a whole 20. But it does. It helps you with reducing stress. Um, Something that I tell people when I have these classes and I teach these workshops, most people have heart attacks on Monday. Monday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Can you guess what's happening on Monday between 8 to 10? Yeah, you're going back to work. The stress of you having to go to work is giving people a heart attack in the morning. I never want anyone to feel like looking at their budget and handling their money is stress. I never want someone to feel like, and you should never feel like when I'm looking at the money that I'm making and the money that I'm spending, that your heart is beating fast and you have a panic attack. We have to learn how to identify, number one, our triggers, what it is. Um, but why do we think this way when it comes to our money? Why do we have these feelings? And why do these thoughts pop up when it comes to handling the finances and the money? Money is never going anywhere. Like it's been here from the beginning of time. It may not look the same, but money has always been here. So we have to learn how to have a healthy relationship with money so that it does not stress us out to cause us to have heart attacks on Monday morning at the beginning of the work week. It also helps with achieving your goals. So when you build a healthy relationship with your budgeting, your finances for your business, you can now achieve those goals that you have. Goal, oh, I want a food truck, or I would love to get marketing out, or I would like to do speaking engagements or more speaking engagements. Whatever it is that your entrepreneurship journey is taking you on, when you understand what it is that you want out of life, you can now take those steps, that big goal, and now break it down. So let's say a food truck. Okay. The food truck is $5,000. Now that could be stress. And so that could take you back over to the stress. But if you give yourself what I call SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So if you give yourself SMART goals, you can take that $5,000 food truck that you need, that you would like to buy, and now break it down. Okay. So I need to sell this many platters a week so that I can get to my $5,000. I can sell some stuff that I don't need to get to my $5,000. But what are those small steps that you can take to get you to where you want, to achieving the goals that you want? And having a healthy relationship with your budgeting and your business, that actually helps. And then it also gives you business success. So when you understand what's happening with your money, you can actually boost your business up. So the food truck again. So now let's say you've done everything, you got the food truck, you have the food truck. Now you have that opportunity. Now your business is more successful because now you can do events. You can go and pull up on the side of a building and you can sell lunch platters. Like you can now take this and you can have more business success. But if you don't, number one, know your goals, and number two, if you aren't budgeting and understand that relationship with your money, your business won't thrive the way it should because you don't know what's going on. We have to learn, and this is not, I'm not just singling anyone out because me, even as a business owner, I understand that if I don't put myself out there, then I don't achieve the goals. So you have to learn how to put yourself out there. You have to learn how to look at what's going on with your money so that you can boost what it is that you're trying to achieve when it comes to business owner slash entrepreneurship. And then understanding your financial relationship. So, what is a budgeting relationship? So, a budgeting relationship is how you and your budget get along. That's basically it. Like, that's it. Like, a budgeting relationship is literally how you and your budget get along. It's about how you see, handle, and use the money that comes into your possession. So, when you get money, what's the first thing that you do? Do you write it down? So, you remember back in the day, like, we used to have things called registers. So, like, it would be a little thing, and you would keep tabs of the money that was coming in, your deposits, your withdrawals. A lot of people, we don't do that anymore. We just have these apps. So you're able to just scroll. But when you're scrolling, think about when you're on Facebook, Instagram, or something, and you're just scrolling, you literally just scroll. You're not really taking in, like, oh, what is happening? So you have to build a relationship with your money, um, so that you're not just scrolling, you're actually taking account of what is happening. Those subscriptions that are coming out, those like streaming services or food purchases, whatever it may be, when you have that healthy relationship, when you have a budgeting relationship with your money, you can now see what is happening so that you don't continue to either do those negative things or you can change them so that you can have a more productive and thriving business. So yeah, budgeting relationship, I feel like that's one of the most important things to have when you're a business owner, because that really starts everything. You can't get your CRM and you can't get your food trucks and you can't, promote to customers if you don't know your budget, if you don't know how much you can spend. Like that's step number one. Like how much can you spend? And that's where your budgeting relationship comes into play. And then it's emotional, and this is I feel like this is where a lot of the hangups come from when it comes to our relationship with our money as being an entrepreneur, is this emotional side. This emotional side is something that hits us hard because we do have an emotional relationship with our money. And it stems from how we saw the adults in our lives handling their money while we were growing up. So if you think about how you think about money now, it's either you think about it the way that you saw the adults handle it or, use it and utilize it when you were growing up, or you are the complete opposite of what you saw growing up because you're like, I don't want to be like that. That is not how I want to be. Prime example. So you have a grandmother who you grew up and they like going to stores and shopping, thrifting, bringing in stuff. And so they have a lot of stuff. They've accumulated a lot of stuff. You either, number one, accumulate a lot of stuff also, if you were around that person a lot, or you're like, simple. I don't want anything around. If I don't have a use for it, if it doesn't have a spot, I don't want it. And that's because you either picked up on the habit or you said, I don't want that habit, which is something that we all go through. So that's something that I want you to think about. Like, how do you think about money? So think about sorry. So I want you to think about how you saw money handled as a child. And now I want you to think about how you handle money as an adult. And I want you to think these things through these four ways. So how do you see it? Do you see budgeting? Do you see handling your money as a strict rule? Like it's like it has to be strict. Like I need it to be this way, this way, this way. There's no gray area. It's either black or white. There is no in between. Or do you use it as like a little helpful guide? It's like, okay, I have a little bit of leniency here. I can do this here. You're not really like strict on it. Like I'm sitting there budgeting. I got my envelopes and stuff. You're more open, relaxed. How do you handle it? So how do you handle your money? Do you make a budget when it comes to your business? Like do you have a budget? Think about that. So tell me, do you have a budget? And then if you do have a budget, do you stick to it? Do you adjust? These are things that you think about, and I want you to think about because this shows you the emotional part of your money handling skills. And when you think about these things and when you have these conversations, you're not talking to anyone but yourself. When you have these conversations with yourself, you'll have a lot of aha moments. You'll have a lot of moments where you're like, you know what? I do need to do this differently. Or you know what? I should do this differently because these aha moments will open you up for you to be able to expand for your journey, for this entrepreneurship journey. So, how do you handle it? Then how do you feel about it? So when you are sitting down looking at your money, your budget, if you're not, today is the day to start. But when you sit down and you look at it, how do you feel? Do you feel stressed? Like you remember that heartbeat, your heart beating fast? Are you relieved? Are you in control with dealing with money? Which is very important because again, we don't want money to use us as a tool. We want to use money as a tool as it is. So how do you feel about money? And again, you're going to have to think about your thoughts, your beliefs, where they stem from, where they come from, what it was like growing up, what it's like now. A lot of people right now are going through a time where the money that you made a year ago is not equivalent at all to the money that you make today. And so when we are emotional and we don't have a healthy emotion when it comes to our budgeting, our money, those type of things will stress us out. Like we said on the previous page, those things will stress us out. So we have to learn to identify the feelings that we have when it comes to just the basics of handling and dealing with the emotional side of our money. And then how do you decide? Your budget can really help you with deciding the things that you need to do, your everyday choices, the things that you shouldn't do. And if you don't think about how you make these decisions, usually you'll just swipe. So let me give you an example. You go into a department store. You're in there for two things. Okay, now you got a cart full. How do you decide what you keep and what you don't keep? What's important? So, do you now say, okay, I know that when I go into this store, these are the things that I need, and I'm going to stick to this list because I understand that the money that I had, like I have the extra money to spend, but is that what I want to spend this money on? You have to learn how to talk to yourself when you're making these decisions, which is very important. And yeah, you may look crazy in the store, like, do I need this? Do I need this? But the people ain't worried about you. Like to really be honest, people are like we think that people worried about us more than people worry about us. So we have to learn how to kind of separate ourselves from that emotional when we're making decisions on the things that are going to impact not just our personal life but also our business life. So there are some challenges that will come up when you are trying to create a budget in your business, or if you're trying to, expand and work on the budget that you have. So, like we just talked about, you're going to have uncertain economic times. Your paycheck this year is not the same paycheck that is working from last year. Like it's economic times are going to be always the front of the challenges when it comes to really having a healthy relationship with your money. It's unpredictable. It's things that we don't know. Who ever thought we would have a pandemic in 2020? Like you didn't think that, but you have to make sure that you are prepared for that. Be prepared. So instead of, like, we have a motto, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. So be prepared for those uncertain times, the changing markets. So anything can change at any time. You could be in this demographic today, and tomorrow is like, oh no, this is not who I'm serving. And that is okay. But you have to understand and again be prepared that these challenges may come up where who you thought would be your person of buying and who you thought your clientele would be is not your clientele. So be open to that. And then the variable cost, let's just say eggs. So eggs last year was $20 a dozen. We wasn't predicted $20 a dozen of eggs. So you have to understand that the charges and the cost of things will fluctuate, sometimes day to day, but you have to be okay and understand that these are things that will happen when you're a business owner. So you have to be prepared and be ready. Growth, listen, it ain't nothing wrong with growing. That's what we all want. As a business owner, you want to grow. You want your business to take off, but you have to be prepared for that takeoff because if you're not, then you'll have chargebacks. You'll have people like, "Oh, well, I ordered the cream and I didn't get it and they didn't respond because you don't have your systems in play. You don't have this available for your growth." So you one thing that I would say is put down what you want, how many customers, how much money, and then start to make those changes so that you can prepare for your growth. Because you don't want to grow and then you got to close because you can't keep up with your growth. That's not what we about here. And then the unexpected expenses, that's just life. Like, everybody has unexpected expenses. Like we said, the $500 for the car, the tire blew and you just spent it. You have to learn how to plan for those unexpected expenses. All of this right here, you planning for this eliminates all of the stress when it happens. Like, it eliminates all the stress when it happens because we're not saying that it's going to be perfect, because that's by far not what I'm saying, but understand that you will have challenges that come up. So in order to eliminate the stress, just be prepared. And then scaling, so scaling, you have to understand what your growth is, what's happening in your market, are you launching new products? So these are good to understand these goals so that you can again scale. You want to always review your current budget. What is going on with your budget? Have you looked at your budget? When's the last time you looked at your business account? Do you have a business banking account? If you don't, make sure you get you a business banking account. If you're using your personal funds, this is something that you need to start making changes so that you're not using your personal funds for your business. So that you're going to have to now start to review, what are you paying, what's going on, so that you can make improvements so that you can bring in more money. And then create rolling budgets. So instead of you saying, I am going to do an annual budget. And this is, no, break it down. So let's do quarterly. We can do monthly. We can, because this opens us up to be able to make those changes so it reduces that stress. And that is the biggest thing, is with a business owner, you want to eliminate as much stress as you can, because being a business owner is stressful by itself. So what you want to do so that you can scale for this growth, you want to make sure that you set up your budget. You want to make sure that you set yourself up for success so that you can grow. And then build contingencies. You never know what's going to happen. We said that on the previous page. You do not know what's going to happen. So always build into your budget a contingency, because again, that helps with eliminating the stress. And then review. Like, that's a big thing. Just go back and review what you have. The more that you look at it, the more that you become comfortable with your budget, the more that you become comfortable with your money, the more that you actually don't mind looking at it. You don't mind saying, oh, okay, what's going on? But it's the lack of looking that causes that stress, that anxiety, that, oh my God, the worry. Like, that is what this is about, is eliminating that worry when it comes to financial self-care in entrepreneurship. And then healing your budget mindset. This is not easy. It is not easy. And I am not going to tell you that, oh, it's going to be fast, it's going to be overnight. It did not take you overnight to get here. Do not expect for it to take you overnight to get out of here. And that's something that we really have to understand is we want everything. Sometimes we're like an instant gratification. They call it microwave generation. Sometimes we want everything fast. What do you say? I want my money. What is it? I need my money now. Want it, whatever. But we have to understand that sometimes it's going to take some time. So learn how to pay attention. Notice where your money goes. Notice what you want to do with it. You really have to pay attention when you're trying to heal your budget mindset. Then you want to learn more. Get out there, research. We got Google. We have so many resources, tools, and avenues that you can learn, but we have to be willing to try. And that second step of healing is learning more. Read the book, get the knowledge. So learn more. Talk about it. Find you some business owner friends. Do whatever you got to do. Go to some networking events so that you can change your thought pattern and your thought process when it comes to your money. Business owners, we talk about our business all the time. I got my business cards. That you want somebody to help you with holding you accountable. So be open to talking about it. And then flexible, the flexibility. Be flexible when it comes to your budget and healing your current mindset when it comes to your money, because if you aren't flexible, then you kind of put yourself in the box, and you don't want to box yourself in when it comes to healing your financial mindset, because it then makes you not want to keep doing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all some homework because we talked about a lot. We did go over a couple of things, and something that I want you to do is I do want you to really start the process of looking and understanding where your money mindset is when it comes to your business. So I want you to keep a little piece of paper with you or a little journal. And every time you have to make a purchase for your business, I want you to write down what it is that you made the purchase for, um, what the purchase was for. But then I also want you to tell me, how did you feel when you made that purchase? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you apprehensive? Were you like, oh my goodness? Were you nervous? How did you feel when you made that purchase? And then this will help you reflect on like the patterns. um are you stressed when you do these purchases? Like, what, are you happy? Are you satisfied? Is there anxiety? So really reflect on how you feel in that pattern when you're making these purchases. And even if it's not just your business, just do your purchases in general. Just write down your purchases and just tell me how you feel. And then I want you to identify one positive change you can make based on your entries. So if you see in there that you're making $100 worth of food purchases and you have food at home, what's one positive thing that you can do? Okay, instead of $100, maybe I can cut off $25 of that $100. It doesn't have to be anything big, grand. What is one thing that you can do to change how you feel about step one or homework assignment number one? And then you can always contact me, as you know. And then next week, I do want to let you know, next week we will be all about road mapping. So we will be talking about how you felt, your emotions, our homework. But we will be road mapping the business success so that you can have and build a healthy relationship with your financial budget. um this was a very important topic. We didn't go into depth. We just kind of did like an overview here on these topics. But next week we're really going to dig deep into some of the things that we discussed today, because our goal is for you to thrive. We want your business to thrive. And I know that you want your business to thrive, but sometimes our relationship with our money and how we handle our money and our belief systems with money really holds us back. And we have to learn how to overcome those things. And so that's why I am here. And that's why I want to help you, because I want to help you with overcoming your current financial relationship so that you can have and achieve the things that you have set forth for yourself. I will be your accountability coach, I can help you with leading you to the water, but I can't make you drink the water. So I want you to do this, and then I will be back on the 20th of March, and we will have our next conversation. I hope that this was enlightful. I hope that you got some information. And again, you can always reach out to me. You can contact me. I'll answer, and we can go from there. But I want to thank you, Launcher, for allowing me to come on today to present. And again, I'll see you later. And next week, we'll also be in person. So come on down to the location. We'll be at 710 North Lincoln Street. We will be at the West End Neighborhood House. So come on down. We'll be there from 6 to 8. We have snacks, drinks, prizes, and goodies. All right, y'all.